Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Kuramawian. And before we get started, I wanted to give you an update that next week and the following there won't be no vlogs. So I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks and I'm leaving next week. So yes, that's the reason I won't be making videos for the next 2 weeks. I will be studying, here and there. It's a vacation, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So if you see me with my beard looking crazy in my hair, I'm doing it on purpose because I'm waiting until literally the day before the trip to go and get a haircut so I can look presentable during my vacation. But nevertheless, let's get straight to business. So nothing crazy this week. I just worked on my to-do list app, really getting comfortable using React, TypeScript, Clark, Postgres, Supabase, and Java and Spring Boot. So it's been like a learning curve in order for me to learn and get accustomed to, because it's the tech stack that I want to use. I really like it, and I just love the fact that I was able to build this project without having to download 100,000 dependencies like I've been used to when I'm just working with JavaScript alone. Like, it's so many dependencies, whereas with this project I really didn't have to do that. So again, I just want to clarify with everyone, this project that I'm building is not a project that I'm going to show for my portfolio or anything. This was only for me to get the ball rolling and get accustomed working with React and Spring Boot. So that's the only reason I made this project. So let me give you guys a rundown. It's nothing crazy. It's just a to-do list app. So there's a sign up. I'm using Clark for that. You guys know how that works. So let me let me log in. This is the password. Clark is doing all of that. You get access to the to-do list. You can manage your account. You can change your update, your username, the picture, even add an email. All of that is being done with Clark, man. I'm a really big fan, and I really appreciate the simplicity. I was a little bit confused at first, but once you get the ball rolling, Clark is such an amazing platform. So nevertheless, so you already know, read, swim, and either delete the to-do, you can update the to-do and change it from that to drink, right? And then you save, and then if you are finished with a to-do, you can check it and it reacts accordingly. And this is also reflected when you go to Supabase, the different to-dos. So you can see here, true, but if we uncheck them and we refresh the page, now they are false, right? Because they are not completed. Read again, and when you refresh on Supabase, it reflects the change. We can check them, all of them, and it reflects the change. But here's the thing that is very nice, and again, I can sign out and you go back to the home page. But this is why it's so cool. When you do something that is a little bit complex, you can actually just copy paste code. So as you can see here, right, like this one, right, when you click on this ellipsis, it gives you the options for delete, to update, cancel, save. And I didn't do this from scratch at all. I literally just went back to my Shadow application, which is a chat application that I built. It pretty much looks like this. And I already had done a CRUD application with a create, read, update, and delete. But instead of using update, I used patch, which is the same thing I used for this to-do list app. So this effect, I really didn't have to come up with this. I literally had it here. So if we go into the code, right, because I want to show you. This is why it's so important to do your best to do something with quality and that looks good, because you can reuse it and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So if you see this code here, edit messages and save edited messages, if you look at this, right, it looks pretty much just like this. You look at this code. If you can see here, handle edit, I even named it the same way, handle save, and instead of fetching with fetch, just tapping into the endpoints, because here I'm using Spring Boot and here I was not. So it just shows the importance, man, of doing something with quality and doing something that you can reuse, because I didn't have to come up with this. And it's something very simple, but it just looks good, you know? You can edit, it goes back. You can, even the buttons, I didn't have to change nothing. I literally just put it in and I just edited the different names of the status. So as you can see here, set edit and message ID. I did it with task ID, set updated message. Here I did a set updated task. So I just edited the things accordingly, but it was exactly the same way. So this is very cool, you know, and I'm very happy that I did that. And also make sure I get more comfortable using TypeScript, because My previous two projects, I was just using Vanilla.js. Doing this to-do list app is the first time I really dive into TypeScript after taking a crash course that I did like 2 months ago. But this is the first time of me actually working with it. And I was noticing that I was using the interfaces here, and I'm like, there has to be a better way of doing so. And I asked Gemini, and it told me, you can actually just put it in its own separate folder called types. And then you just import them here. And then you just use them in your different functions. So create to-do request is this one. Test to do is this one, and text patch is this one. So another thing that I did, I added a README page for the project. Again, nothing crazy, just explaining the purpose of this project. Again, this is not something that I'm going to use for my portfolio. It's just something that I wanted to do in order to get comfortable using React and Spring Boot. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.